I forgot the name of the podcast. Welcome everyone to Otaku flavored. Yeah, today we're here with Jay, as always.
How's it going, guys?
Let's go. Today is the recap episode of all recap episodes that get us caught up of what happened last year in 2020 in the anime world.
So many people say nothing happened in 2020,
and we
all do kind of want to forget it.
Well,
but
agreed.
there was good anime that did, in fact, come out during last year.
Yeah, we made a list. We went through everything that got released besides Digimon because for some reason it didn't make it into the wiki, and I don't know why, but still we'll get there. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that came out last year that was good. And actually surprisingly good. So
there's a lot of stuff that I still haven't even checked out. So there's just like stuff that flew so far under the radar. I was like, okay, I've never even heard of some of this stuff that I'm now going to go back and watch.
I think the funny thing about going through this and making this beforehand and just checking everything out was like, oh, that looks interesting. I will add you to a list and I will watch you later.
Although it's going to be hard because there's so much good stuff this season still.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I am definitely... I think we should start off strong. And one of the first things that did come out last year, we're going to start, by the way, with movies. We'll go into movies and then we'll go into like TV releases. But so one of the first things that came out last year was the Made in Abyss movie, which
dear God, that was so good. Had
already got me hyped on. Like I came into that at the perfect time because we had just finished Made in Abyss and you were like, movie. And I was like, oh, wait, the movie. All right. When is this coming out? And you're like early January. Which got pushed back. It didn't come out until like March, right? Or something like that. I can't even remember.
Yeah, it didn't come out for a little bit later, which was fine because that was still the starting of us watching anime together.
Yeah.
And like I just started showing you that show. I didn't even know the movie was coming out because they didn't release the second movie, which was just more of a recap anyway, so it's not like anybody needs to watch it. But there's a recap of the first half of the season 1 and a recap of season 1 part 2, and then it goes to the movie, which takes place after the first season, and then they're gonna come back with a season 2 that takes place after the movie. So you do have to see the movie if you want to watch the show. Please watch the damn show.
Oh.
It is one of my all-time favorite animes, as you guys obviously know already.
Yeah, it creeped up there real quick for me. Yeah,
so good. And the movie just. I mean, I spoiled myself. I read the mangas. I couldn't help myself. I didn't know that the movie was coming out. I gave it as a watch because so many things were canceled or delayed during 2020 that I was like, oh, it's just not going to come out. Yeah. And I resided to the idea of like, I'm not going to see it in theaters. That really sucks. And when it finally does exist in America, another 2 years from now? Maybe?
Right? It's definitely one of those things where like a lot of those movies that I was looking forward to that were hopefully going to get a release last year. Mm-hmm. Then COVID hit and they were like, nope, we're not going to release them because then it makes sense. Yeah. No one's going to go see your movie right now. So, especially in theaters, it was kind of sad. It definitely was a sad year for some stuff. But Made in Abyss movie, I 100% recommend go check that out if you've watched the series.
Do it.
Yeah, go watch the series. Go do yourself a favor. It was good. It's definitely good. That movie is brutal though. Just gonna say that.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
Not for everybody. Yeah.
I think just like some of my favorite anime of all time, much like the Wonder Egg project that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
You guys all know. If you did go watch it or you even heard us talk about it, it's not for everybody. Made in Abyss, definitely not for everybody. But for the people who it is for that can watch those things without getting. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's like
okay, yeah. I
people
think
with a large sense of existential dread and anxiety might want to take a break or retrieve from it because I feel it can be a triggering series.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah, I do feel like it could be a triggering series, like as far as anxiety, as far as some of the stuff that's going on with these characters, especially later on. Yeah, I don't think it's for everybody, but it is an amazing show. Still an amazing show. Yeah.
Still super good.
And then the other movie that I piqued my interest that came out that I forgot that it even came out last year was the Violet Evergarden movie. I don't know if you watched that at all, but
I haven't seen it yet. I really need to.
It was good. I liked it. The show is better. I definitely. Okay. It was one of those things where I feel like the show does a very, very good job at moving along at a pace that feels good. The movie kind of dragged on because it felt like an extended show episode, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
But I did enjoy it. But as far as I would recommend just watching the anime series if you've watched it. And not just hopping into the movie. Because I think you can just hop into the movie. It does fairly good job of explaining what's going on. But yeah, it wasn't terrible. It didn't make me feel as much as the show did. That show is brutal. That show made me almost cry. I don't usually cry at things, and Violet Evergarden was one of those shows that was like, why does this keep happening in this show? But yeah, man,
I'm a big baby when it comes to anime at this point in time. There's nothing that I've ever watched that is like, yep, I'm gonna tear up then watching anime. So I think it's part of the reason why I love anime so much. It breaks that wall for me somehow.
That's
don't
good.
know how or why.
Yeah, it's the closest for me. Like I usually don't get teared up at things, and man, some animes they get me close. They get me real close. The last one was the Demon Slayer movie, which didn't come out in America, but did come out in Japan. I didn't see it. I don't think any of us live in Japan, or you and me don't live in Japan, at least. But
no, not to my knowledge.
I heard good things.
Think I'm in the U.S. I haven't been outside in a while though, so I might have been in another country this whole time.
Holy, how real would that be? It's just like you're like, by the way, we're in Japan, and you're like, how? Well, we got teleported. Okay, this is our new anime series. That's actually a kind of a cool plot. Someone write that down. You're quarantined in your house for such a long period of time. And like all of your windows are blocked out or whatever, and then finally it's like lifted and you go outside, and now it's either an isekai where you're like literally in like a fantasy world or whatever, or you're going in, or it's just like now you're in Japan, or now you're in like some place you weren't before. That'd be interesting, because the first episode would, I don't know, like we're going on a tangent here, but like the first episode I could see literally it's like you getting in, it's showing him surviving, like people show up at your house to drop off stuff, you go out, you pick it up or whatever, and like there's just like this weird disconnect of like you're slowly but surely like losing where you are in time and how everything goes, and then like halfway through the episode, or even you could even like do a montage of all of that going down, and then it's like him coming out finally and being like, I'm free, and then it's like, what's going on?
A whole new different world that they're in. Yeah, and make it all like have like the news and stuff be on and things like that. All like everybody freaking out, like global pandemic destroying, like just our last year in a nutshell. Yeah, play that out around him and just make it feel just like a super downer for him, and then he just steps out into a new world. All right, guys, we're making our own isekai.
Let's go, dude. That's such a good start. I feel like so many people can relate with that from this last year too. Holy shit, dude, we're making our own isekai. Check it out on Webtoons. It's called something. We'll figure it out. Damn, thank you, Demon Slayer movie, for making us go into that. But that's the end of the movies, at least from last. Maybe. Yeah. I'm excited about that. I'm gonna write down this concept. Okay. Any of you guys in comments, if you steal really that, I will find you. All right. No, if you can run with it faster.
With us, okay. Don't steal collab.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, if you can do it faster than us, then good on you.
Yeah, that's your own fault.
Yeah, that's on us. And then so this is going to be chronological from release date. So I guess these came out. I have the dates and everything. I don't know if we'll say dates.
Oh, you did put it all through release dates. Well, good on you.
Yeah. See, I told you I put effort into this.
Just want to put it out there really quick though about Demon Slayer. I know everybody says that like episode 24 is a banger and like the show gets absolutely amazing. Y'all gotta stop telling me that shows are good when they suck ass around like episode like 7 through whatever. Because I stopped watching that thing, and I know somebody's gonna tell me that I'm the worst person on earth for not loving everybody's beloved new shonen of the century.
That show was hype. Okay, I can understand where you're coming from. I personally didn't necessarily feel that. It's weird because I felt like the first couple episodes were kind of throwing me into a place where I'm like, I kind of see where this is going. But seriously, after like the third or fourth episode, I was like, I'm invested. I can understand why it was the top grossing anime of last year. I think it was.
Well, thing is, like, I really loved all the way up until the point that they go down and meet all the kids after he kills the dude for revenge.
Yeah,
whatnot. Like,
spoilers.
I did make it.
No, I'm just kidding. No.
Whatever.
Yeah,
don't watch the show. It sucks.
Just
chances are you've already seen everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say chances are you've already. If Demon Slayer is one of those animes where I feel like you're either not gonna watch it already or you're gonna watch it. Because it's the first season. Yeah. It reminds me a lot of season 1 of Attack on Titan. You were either gonna watch it or you weren't, and you already knew that.
Yes, this is the this is the problem of like anime reaching such a mainstream cultural like significance at this point. There's stuff that people like are just talking about at, like work. You know, it's like it's a normal place thing now. So, but that's, I think,
moving into TV. We started with Asteroid in Love, which I didn't watch.
I loved it.
But a lot of these I feel like are interesting because they were like right when I was getting back into this last year's like whole release schedule. So January especially, I had only heard about a lot of these and I didn't necessarily start watching them until like we were like in full quarantine and it was nothing else for me to do other than play video games. And I'm like, all right, well, what else do I do with my time other than play video games? And it was turned into watching anime. But I heard interesting things about this one.
Yeah, I mean, you've all seen this before. It's a romance. It's two people falling in love over asteroids and whatnot.
Hell yeah.
The main character wants to name an asteroid after the person that they fell in love with as a kid. And
that's kind of adorable.
Things happen, and it's really freaking adorable. It's just worth watching. It's a happy feel good the whole way through. It's not one of those animes either where it's like, oh, the two people that care about each other are gonna be dormant the whole time. There's an actual like progression between them, and it feels genuine and passionate, and it's just adorable the whole way through. And there's things that I'm leaving out because there's actually is like a unique, not really that unique, but a fun to be a part of moments in the beginning that I think are really worth watching and not spoiling. So just if you're looking for a romance from that you've want to watch that's really cute, go watch it.
Yeah,
that's all I want to say.
Go check it out.
Yeah.
I want to start doing watch parties. I'm just gonna say this right now. I don't know why it just made me think of it, but we're setting up a Discord slowly but surely. We each both have Discords as well, so expect something. Expect something at some point soon. I don't know where it's gonna end up, but yeah, expect watch parties. And a lot of these shows, especially the ones that Jay over here is going to recommend over this list, we'll be watching. We'll be going through and checking them out. So look forward to that. The next one on the list is Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken. Or was it
Eizouken?
Eizouken. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah,
you saved my life.
Did you watch this one?
I did not. I actually never even heard of this one. This was completely off my radar.
This is such an amazing series for anybody who loves creating. If you've ever made something in your life, or you're a person that likes video editing, doing animations, drawing, just whatever it is, if you have a passion in your life, you will connect with this show in the deepest of ways, because it is literally a love letter to two people a group of people that love creating and the world around them. And it takes you through their process and what it means to like make an anime, which is what they're doing throughout the whole show.
That's kind of neat.
And it takes you through fantasy scenes of them doing what they love and shows you an in-depth process. And it's such a rich love letter to creation.
Weird.
Watch it.
Is it anything like Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun? Because that, once you said that was kind of what came to mind for that.
What is that one?
That's basically about a manga writer, a girl who's falling in love with a manga writer. And it kind of goes into like, it's kind of, I almost want to say, like a slice of life love letter to manga writing. I mean, it's interesting because he does oh my god, why can't I think of what it's called? But it's like romance novels basically. So he doesn't necessarily like 100% like what he's doing, but he's really good at it, and people really like his novels basically. It's an interesting take. That was a good show. I like that. They sound
different. They sound generally different. This is a lot of energy, following three members. One that really has a passion for writing and like drawing and creating like worlds, and the other person really loves doing like character designs and stuff like that. And
Oh,
it's just
sounds cool.
it's a big mashup.
Okay.
It's hard to explain.
I kind of want to
I
watch.
think anybody who creates stuff will love this show. Just watch it. It's good.
I kind of want to watch this now. Up next came out in January as well. Was Bofuri? Is that
Bofuri?
Bofuri.
Yeah. So the long title of this. See if I can say this from memory. If I forget, somebody's gonna tell me that I'm wrong, and that's fine.
And that's okay.
It is. I don't want to get hurt, so I put all my points in defense. It's basically an isekai, just like all the other isekais that we've seen, but it's not a hardcore isekai, or it's not. Actually, it's not. So what it is
okay. I was like, wait, this sounds so much like an isekai, because I don't know, just the whole. If that is the title.
Yeah, so it's like all the isekai trope stuff, but if my memory serves correctly, I don't know if they're actually stuck in. Maybe they are, but it's like this person gets like roped up by their friends to join into this game, and they're like, okay, well, I don't know anything about MMOs, so I'm gonna try it out and get into it. I didn't watch the whole series. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I have friends that swear by it, saying that it's like the best thing that they had watched last year, and makes me question their tests.
Yeah.
But that being said, if you're not dead of isekais to watch, then
there's so many.
Pick this one up.
Dear God.
But this is so many. I didn't finish this one. I'm not saying this is like a recommendation by any means. It is cute.
The next one we had is just on the list because I feel like both of us noticed it, but Nekopara.
Dude, Nekopara. I can't believe they finally released it as a TV show.
Right?
The controversy around it was gnarly, but it doesn't have any of the... So the controversy is stemmed completely around the fact that it has a a
sexualized underage character.
Sexualized.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So it's a, what's the word for it? It's not a light novel. I keep wanting to say that, but a visual novel. There we go. Visual novel with H scenes in it. So there's a bunch of sexualization of these rather adult looking, some of them, cat figures that are all obviously of young age because they're cats.
Yeah, I haven't seen it all, but is it because they're cats that they're underage, basically? Because they're ears?
All done by cat ears, yeah.
Got it.
So
okay, that makes sense.
They look really old because, being
like
10 years as a cat is near the end of your life, so they're older. And yes, it's a bunch of eroticism with cats that look like people. And there's whatever you want to say about it. That thing exists, but there's such a big fandom for it, and there's also, you can go through that entire series without any of the hentai stuff, which is if you got it off of Steam, like a lot of people did. It's just a normal story at that point with like hinting at something may or may not happen sometimes.
Okay.
Not all the stories are based around that, from what I know.
That sounds a little bit nicer.
And then they released this anime that is just pure slice of life. There's nothing else going on it. All being I didn't watch it, but from what I was told is that it's just pure slice of life with absolutely nothing, because of course it aired on TV.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, a lot of that stuff gets like, I don't know, PC, I don't know, like toned down.
Yeah, toned down.
Yeah.
So this is supposed to be toned down, and it's still, no matter what, it got a ton of controversy, and that's fine. It's not for everybody. It's not a thing that I have ever cared about one way or the other. But hey, if you like your cats,
if you like your,
don't do that.
Moving on to the next one, was Somali and the Forest Spirit. This one sounded really interesting to me, and I didn't start watching it, but it was one of those that was on my radar when people were hyping it up.
Oh, it's so adorable.
I heard it was good. Yeah.
I will go back to recommending again. Fucking go watch this one, guys. You get this cute little girl that's abandoned in the woods, or it might be a boy. I'm not exactly sure. They don't exactly genderize the character. It's just cute little human in the forest. A giant golem comes, finds them, and wants to take them to the human tribe in a world full of monsters that would much like to eat a little human if they knew it was one. And that's literally the premise.
That sounds
go find humans.
Sounds good.
So adorable.
Yeah, it sounds like just such a cute anime.
Mm-hmm. With a bunch of good story. I love a lot of the characters through it. Honestly, there's a bunch of good story points. Like, they do good. Watch.
I will add it to the list. Yeah, it's funny how, like, slowly but surely, like, all of these I'm going to be working through. Well, a lot of them at least. some of these are on here just because for the sake of being on here, like honorable mention sort of. Like neither of us necessarily watched them, but there was just so much hype behind them. The next one is a certain scientific railgun T. Why do they have T at the end?
I don't know the T part.
It throws me off, I feel.
Everybody knows, well, not everybody, but I mean, a certain magical index or whatever it's called, the original series of which this comes from, which is complete ass, and I hate, but there's obviously a fandom for it out there. But the split off series that has always been a certain scientific railgun has always been reasonably good. I mean, infinitely better than the main series. That's for sure. It's a tight-knit story that focuses in on one character as opposed to the Index series, which is a wide-scoping mess of whatever the heck that is. So if you... Because there is some decent quality, at least really good fight scenes that do occur in Railgun.
Oh, you got me in a fight.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. I could be down.
Just don't watch Index. It sucks. It's really, really bad.
After that came out Interspecies Reviewers, which this one I didn't even hear of.
This was the other one that had the controversy throughout the year. So I hadn't watched this one either, but I feel like I need to, so that way I can put cultured next to my name.
Wait, why? Wait, what is? Okay, I guess
this got pulled off of air. So what happened is halfway through, they show a actual softcore fuck scene that occurs during the series.
Damn.
And everybody's like, "Oh, this is a hentai. We need to not air this anymore." So they pulled it from publication, and then it aired the rest of it on an actual hentai site.
Damn, dude. Wait, that's pretty hardcore. It's like,
yeah.
I like how that's a possibility of happening. Where it's like, oh, dude, let's go. This is amazing. And then they air that episode, and everyone's like, what the fuck? And they're like, oh shit, you're right. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing? We just aired a porn.
We need execs. I need your help. We need to get this.
Yeah.
Dude, someone lost their job over that. All right, 100%. That's what happened with that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even reading the name, I feel like, yes, I could easily see it going that direction just from the name alone. Because I don't know, when I just read that, I'm like, I don't know what this is about, but this definitely seems something like sexual, at least. Like, why are
really is.
Why are you saying interspecies reviewers? Like, what are we reviewing here? Like, interspecies kind of reminds me of, I don't know.
Yeah. The first half of the episode of the season one, starting of it, I didn't enjoy it enough, so I turned it off and I didn't watch it. Just because I thought it was too jokey and boring. It just wasn't my vibe.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you stay in it long enough, it gets to an actual H scene.
Damn. Noted.
Yeah.
After that, I guess came out the same day, was Inspector.
That is so good.
Which this is another one that I actually never heard of, but you sounded super hyped when we were going through the list.
Oh yeah, this was literally, if we would have started the podcast a year earlier and we would have had a top 10 manga that I must see turned into an anime, this would have been on the list. I collected the series back when it came out. I don't know how many years ago. Probably not that many because my brain thinks that 2020 happened 3 years ago already.
You're right.
But it was such a good series. I loved it all the way up until it finally got the anime release. The anime release is really good. Follows the manga almost exactly. A few little changes, which are fine. But yeah, a really good one that a lot of people have slept on. It's kind of my hidden gem of both manga and anime at this point, where
interesting.
It just left underneath the rug for everybody, and it's so good. Even has a great pun of a name.
Yeah, I was gonna say I actually like how the name is. It is smart. Yeah. I think that instantly put it on my list where I was like, that I could see personally liking this most likely. I still don't know 100% what it's about, but and then
so as a quick synopsis for people, just to let people in on it, yes, it's literally about a girl who's connected with the ghost realm who solves crimes.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Spectre. It's literally
that makes so much sense. Oh, that makes so much sense. Oh, I like that. Okay. All right. You win, Inspector. I will check you. That's pretty good. What came out the day after was Dorohedoro. Which
this is one that you watched that I didn't.
Yeah, which I do like. It is good. It is an interesting take on just brutal, gritty, it takes place in a town, in a city that's like basically the slums, and it's definitely more gory, so I feel like a lot of people might not necessarily hop on it just for that, but it's how they handle magic in that show is pretty interesting. It's pretty sweet. I do think it's interesting as they're sending like sorcerers and things like that into this slummy area to do a lot of their like transactions and things like that, even though they're in what seems like a different, like completely different area that they have to gate into getting into this place because it's on lockdown. But I recommend it. It's good. The only thing I think that would turn people off is the animation style. It is 3D, and I feel like when you go into 3D incorrectly, I mean, even when you go into 3D like as your main style, it's hard. It's definitely hard, but
it is.
It's worth the watch. I'd recommend it.
It keeps looking like something that I want to give a try. Like, it looks good.
Yeah, if you can look,
I've heard enough good things about it that I want to give it a shot.
If you can look past its animation style, it's not as bad as like Berserk, like the bad Berserk, but it's close.
Okay.
And then what came after that was Tower of God, which to me, that was like me getting back into, all right, I'm gonna start watching my like series again, because Tower of God came out. I was getting back into webtoons at the same time, and then Crunchyroll had like, there were all these advertisements there. They were like, all right, well, we're taking Tower of God and we're making it into an anime. And I was like, all right, we'll check this out. And I feel like they did a very good job as far as webtoons go. We've talked about it in the past before. I think they did a good job at bringing Tower of God from the webtoon world into the anime world.
I think most people have seen this at this point. This was kind of like the most talked about thing during this season that it was launched. So I think, this kind of soaked up everybody's attention.
In a lot of ways.
If you don't have opinion on it right now and you haven't watched it, just give it a shot. It's probably decent for you.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of like a solid title for almost everybody.
I think so as well. I definitely could see this even being like a gateway anime in some ways, because it is just, it's fairly standard. There's not too much in it. There's combat, there's action, there's like the romance element, and it's got a little bit of everything. Plus it's an interesting world. And then after that was what? Kakushigoto? What is it?
Kakushigoto. Dad's Secret
My
Ambition.
Dad's Secret Ambition. Yeah.
So
what is this even about? What the fuck?
I didn't watch this one until now. So I was looking back at lists a couple days ago trying to see like, was there any like good thing that I missed? This was in the slice of life category, so of course, your boy's gotta do what he's gotta do. It's more of a comedy. So as much as it's like trying to say that it's a slice of life, sure, it hits like that slice of life curve, and it's telling like a very mundane story, but it's like kind of an upbeat comedy at the same time without trying to be like over the top jokes. It's subtle humor. That's not so subtle. Really hard to explain. If you like your slice of life, but you wanna laugh while doing it, and you need something with energy, this is it. This isn't the boring, let's just go day and day. This has energy in it. This is going. The reason being is this is about a man who, when he has his first daughter in the operating room, as he's holding his daughter for the very first time, the doctor looks at the nameplate, reads it, and says, "Oh my God, you're that hentai artist that I know."
Oh my God, wait, really?
Yes.
That's how this
he
goes?
immediately decides from that moment on, I will never let my daughter know what I do for a living.
Oh my God.
So the whole show is based around him hiding the fact that he writes dirty manga.
Oh my God, this sounds amazing. Holy shit. All right, never mind. I didn't know what to expect, and now you sold me. Because it's funny when you're like, it has energy, and I'm like, all right. This sounds like something I could get behind. I am growing on slice of life. You've got me in the laid back camp. All right.
Yes.
It's good. I'm fine. I'm there. I'm digging it. This sounds like something that I'm like, all right, this sounds funny. This sounds legit.
Yeah, it's an entertaining watch. It's a pep up in the genre for sure.
Nice. Okay. And then what came out after that was Listeners. This one I don't know anything of. This was like,
I'm so sorry this is on the list, guys. So this was
I blame you. I blame you. No,
I know. I just had to put this out there because it's one of those things where it's like I very rarely get hyped for an anime when I see something coming out before I've seen it. And there's this problem with this one. It's like when it launched, it was basically trying to be like the next like Eureka 7 meets Fooly Cooly with like a touch of like something else thrown in there. And it was like gonna be this awesome mecha with music being played to pilot them, and like mysteriously girls with losing their memories because why not? And like they can amp and jack into the robots and create sound waves to do battle, and like I don't know, just all this epic monologue
that
stuff.
Sounds
and then
cool.
it starts. Yeah, it sounds like it has potential. No. it just sucks.
You're like, this fell flat. This is not what.
How do you make that fall flat? Like,
no, seriously though.
The amount of effort that you have to put in to make something that's epic sounding just suck is, yeah, I don't know. It is
one of those things where I don't know, like, if it would get better. Did you finish it?
No, I gave up on it really freaking fast because the whole plot line in the beginning was just garbage.
Because it's one of those things where, like, after you explain that, I'm like, I don't know if, like, I would almost just be like, you know, screw it. Like, I'm just going to give this a full send. I'm going to check this out. My taste is really bad because, like, I mean, I watched all of, Onyx Equinox. Like, I finished it.
Yeah.
So this seems like one of those shows where if it was, like, that bad... And
you know, please go give it a watch and let me know if it.
I kind of want to
because you can get past, because
it does sound hype.
It does exactly like a show I should watch.
Me too. Me too. Actually, which is funny.
If you pick apart everything, it's made for me, and it sucks. Next.
Speaking of next, my next Life is a Villainess. All Routes Lead to Doom came out after that, which I was. Told I need to watch this anime. It was one of the animes when it was coming out and people were watching and they're like, you got to go see this. And I'm like, all right, I'll check it. I haven't. I'm just going to come out and be frank with you guys, but it is on my list.
Well, don't worry, because I haven't either.
Yeah, I know. But were people hyping this one up for you too?
Yeah. Everybody said, go watch this. This is going to be amazing. This is the show for you to go watch for the season. And no,
yeah,
I never touched it.
Yep. So if you guys like this, if you guys recommend this show, recommend it in the comments. Tell us why we should go watch it, and maybe we'll make this the first watch.
Yeah, because if I'm overlooking something, I do want to see it. Like,
me too.
Sure.
And if we both haven't seen it, we can, watch party of that seems smart because it's like, all right, well, neither of us has seen this, and we can just rip on it. If it's bad and you guys have terrible taste, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you know what has terrible taste? My cold coffee.
Oh, dude, seriously though, cold coffee is like the worst in some ways.
And I still want to drink it.
After that was Ascendance of a Bookworm season 2 started.
Yep.
Which I never saw season.
All right.
I never saw season 1. Right. What is that even about? Is that about? Someone who reads Slice of Life.
For it.
Wait,
it's another isekai.
Oh, it's an isekai.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
They want to. They're a person that just loves books.
Oh god. Okay.
And they get sent to another world, and there's a place that doesn't really have books, but they want books, and they end up with books. What else can I tell you? They got books.
Oh my god, that seems so real. That sounds like when you're like, this is an isekai. I'm over here like, I know where you're going with this. I've watched enough isekai to know where this is going. After that was the one that wasn't in the wiki. What the hell? This is an anime, which was Digimon Adventures. It makes me wonder if
digital monsters, Digimon are the champions.
Do they characterize this as a cartoon?
Oh, I wonder.
Because that's what I was thinking while it not being on the list was, is Digimon a cartoon now?
Did it? I know it got pushed back a few times. Was it maybe because it did air in 2019, or was supposed to, and then it got pushed back to 2020?
That
or
is also
it got aired in 2020, got pushed back to later 2020.
That is actually also a possibility because I did notice this list had the original release dates for these and not 100% when it did release.
Because I feel like this list is missing a few things that I can't put my finger on it, but I think there's a bunch of stuff that just got pushed back.
Yeah, because that definitely happened quite a bit.
Yeah.
But Digimon. What'd you think of it?
I love Digimon.
I love Digimon.
Digitize.
But yeah.
Before this whole thing started, I was singing the Digimon song.
I know you
because,
were.
Hey.
Yeah.
So, like, I love me some original Digimon.
Oh, no.
I love the second Digimon. I love to the absolute most Digimon Tamers, the series where it's like Cthulhu-esque. That one's amazing. It's all the way up until you get to the point where Shoutmon just ruins the franchise for me. And I thought, hey, maybe they decided that Shoutmon was so terrible and the latest seasons of Digimon were so bad. Let's reboot it from the beginning and try to do it better. And I jumped on board so freaking hard. I was like, Digimon, just going with it. Just
Digimons
so
are the champions. They're the champions, okay?
Yeah. Watched episode 1. I was like, all right, I see what they're going for here. I'm down for this. It's not like Tri. I thought they were going to do something like Digimon Tri because that was good. I liked it. Some people don't, but I do. But let's watch this. And I was like, okay, episode 2. Oh, they're trying to make this more like the movies. They want an action-packed, easy Digivolves all the way through. It wasn't until episode 4 that my energy in the attempt to like this thing, despite all odds, slowly dwindled and was crushed, and my dreams fractured, and I just couldn't recover. And like, it was like watching just a kid just like slowly watch his heroes die. I was just so like, sad. But I want him. Like, I had my little Agumon figure and my War Greymon, and I was like, oh, they did evolve.
Oh no, it's so
trying to be happy,
so
and then
sad. I just
put him
picture you just like slowly crying as you're putting them away. You're like, this isn't what I wanted. No. I remember seeing like previews for this and being like, oh, okay. I see. They're trying to be more like the movies. That's exactly how I felt too. Like with the animation style and how everything was going. I was like, okay, because the movies are good. I definitely I can't remember if it's the latest movie that came out, but I guess now this is a while ago. This is like whatever came out in like 2011 or something. That's when I watched the last Digimon movie. I dropped out of Digimon a while ago, but the first season of that show was good. It was on par with everything out that was out there. I mean, other than, did you ever play, just a weird tangent, but did you ever play the games? Did you ever play Digimon World?
I played Digimon World. I played a bunch of the Digimon games. They're freaking hard.
That game's so hard. Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
The Digimon card game.
I wanted to check to see if I wasn't alone.
Yeah, the video game card game is wonk as all hell. The actual physical card game, the original one, is kind of wonk too. That was in America. The Japanese one's better. But they made a new Digimon game that I've collected to complete just absurdity. I've gone full in on collecting the new Digimon game.
Is it good?
Despite having 0 people to play with, which makes me sad.
That makes me sad. I'm not gonna play with you.
But it's a really good game.
Yeah,
I know, nobody is.
You poor man. Pokemon. No.
Pokemon, yay!
Yay.
But no.
All right, we'll move on. Digimon, you're okay.
No,
You'll be fine.
I must mourn it more.
Yeah,
I'm so sad.
It's too late. We're moving on to Fruits Basket season 2, which I was hyped for when it was coming out. This kind of was like a weird time for me because I was like, I need to watch this, and then just never kept pushing it off and never did end up watching it. But Fruits Basket is one of my first memories in anime in some ways, like that I bought. That I was buying actual DVDs of Fruits Basket.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the weird thing about that is I felt ashamed at the time. I'm not gonna lie. Being like, it's probably one of those few moments where I'm like looking at the DVD and I'm like, dude, if my friends knew that I was buying Fruits Basket right now, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't want to be my friend. Like, it's so weird it being like I don't know, just like a young male in that time period watching a slice of life like that, where it's like, okay, someone's like, what the fuck are you, why isn't this Gundam? Why aren't you buying Gundam right now? Why aren't you buying Dragon Ball Z or Naruto? Or like, why are you buying Fruits Basket? I'm like,
because it's good.
It's adorable. All right, it's a cool concept. It has all the Zodiac characters. I like the Zodiac characters. Okay.
Yep.
But I've heard good things about season 2. I've heard it's more of the same, which is fine by me.
Yeah, I watched the first season of it for the most part, and then I gave up on watching more of it simply because my brain was like, you've seen this already. This is just how you remember it, which is great because the animation is really upgraded, but it is the same story. There's not really any changes worth speaking of that I know about anyways. My brain might have just forgotten enough stuff from the old one that it just kind of clicks perfectly into place.
Yeah.
So if you've seen it, it's still good. If you haven't seen it, do watch it. It is an amazing first time watch.
Because wait, like if I remember correctly, when I first heard about season 2 coming out, it sounded like a reboot. It sounded which is I think one of the reasons why I started pushing it off, because I couldn't figure out whether or not it was brand new episodes or if it was a complete reboot of the first season.
No, it's season 1 and season 2 re-released. It's a complete re-release of the entire original.
That's what I thought.
Thing. Yeah,
that's
it's just re-release.
That's why I feel like I kept pushing it off. I'm like, I'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. You've already seen it. It's fine. You don't need to watch it again if you have fond enough memories of it. It's just better animation.
I'm gonna go watch it again. But after that came out BNA, or Brand New Animal.
Yes.
Which I guess I need to go watch.
How did you not see this, you terrible
I watched
person?
the first 2 episodes and I don't know. I think I came off of Beastars and went into this. So it was like, this isn't Beastars.
They're very different.
They are extremely different. I mean, both about humanoid characters. So I feel like I can understand where I draw the line between them. I'm like, oh, you're about anime or animal humanoid characters, and so are you, but you're not Beastars. But I can see getting into it. I mean, you explained that it's by Trigger, and I didn't realize that until now that I understand my studios a little bit better. I'm like, all right, I'll actually give this a go.
I'm slowly breeding that into your mind, where you're gonna get to the point where you can start recognizing studios just by artwork.
Which, thank you. Keep doing that. I mean, I hope like all of us can learn together with me, because I don't know. I can't see myself not being the only person in this boat where I watch an anime. I'm like, oh, cool. This is anime. And then,
you're the mass populace.
Yeah, okay.
Like, there's no reason to know all the studios like I do. That's not a talent somebody needs or ever should actually acquire.
But I kind of I want to be able to do that, because then anytime we are visiting Japan, if we get lucky enough to go visit any of these studios, like that sounds cool. Like I can go visit the place where my favorite anime is being made. Like, I don't know. That would be absolutely amazing. Any anime studio that watches this, that wants us to come and check out your anime. All right, we're always looking for more stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I will. I don't care what it is. Like, man, it could be slice of life, hentai, anywhere in between those two, like whatever it is. Like, hit us up, all right? Or if anyone in the comments.
I'm down for any of that stuff. But no, for sure, it's it is nice to know different directors and different people who do different things, just simply so that way you can start understanding their directorial style and like understanding what's kind of going to be there. For some people that already are in that world, like it's interesting, because I listen to a lot of different YouTubers that do anime reviews, and I was re-listening to probably for like the 3rd time a episode from Mother's Basement.
Okay, yeah.
Who does a reason why he doesn't like what is it? The ending of Darling in the Franxx. Okay. And it's one of those things where it's like, the first time I watched it, I didn't catch on to anything they were saying, just because I was so passionately in love with it and whatnot.
Makes sense.
Like the second time is like trying to like talk to somebody else about it, and I really wanted other people's opinions. And this 3rd time I rewatched it like 2 days ago, and I was like, okay, I finally understand his actual points of views now.
Yeah, I need to finish that so we can talk about it, because that is one of the shows that slowly but surely I'm working through, and I feel like I'm slowly feeding myself it, because I don't want it to end. I really do like that show a lot. I like where they're going. I like the direction. It definitely, so far, feels like it's going to go in a direction that I like. So we'll see.
Well, we'll find out, because everybody hits the ending.
I know. That's what it
he's
seems
one of the
like.
few people who knows the studio, knows the history just as well as I do. Like, he one for once throughout his reviews of it explains exactly what I'm explaining about it, except for we both have different outcomes of how we like it, or obviously don't like it for some of us.
Yeah.
And so it's very interesting. So it's nice to have other people who have that depth of knowledge on the industry, but doesn't always mean it comes out the same way that I think it will.
Which I think I mean, it's always a good way to be able to take someone else's criticism of something that you really like and they don't like, and be able to talk about it. So if you want to come on the podcast,
he doesn't watch this shit.
I know.
But hey, if he does, I watch your shit.
Yeah. But to end with BNA, I did like the overall like concept that they show you at the very beginning. I didn't know where it was going to go necessarily. But
It goes directly to Trigger Studio.
Yeah, okay. All right.
If you've ever watched Trigger animation, you know where it's going. It goes exactly there, and it's great the whole way.
I'm excited then. I'll go back. Then after that was Food Wars, or the fifth plate, which is season 5.
All right, so how was Food Porn season 5?
Dude, Food Porn season 5 was actually really good. I very much enjoyed it. It had an interesting take on how to handle like all the Food Wars. If you've watched Food Wars, it's more of the same. Sure, they're Food Wars. I don't know where we're going from there, but it's good. It's definitely, you're watching Food Wars because you want to watch people like make crazy anime food, which is one of my favorite things in anime, is like looking at food and being like, man, I love it. I'm the Food Network kid. I love food. And then, I mean, can't you tell? But anyways, this did a very, very good job at kind of making it interesting, having an antagonist that I kind of liked. And it was weird because they kind of rehashed an older antagonist, but in a cooler way, which I was fine with. I think that's maybe where some people would be like, oh, you're just doing the same thing again. But yeah, it was overall a good show.
So there's one thing I want to say about Food Wars that is something that I wish other people would take away from it, because I didn't watch the show.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know anything about it. But there's so many people who want to get into drawing and get into like just the industry of being an artist. And so many people always think that, oh, I need to learn how to, especially if you're an anime person. Yeah. They're like, I need to learn how to draw anime people. And that's all people want to do is character design, character drawing and whatnot.
Makes sense.
And then very rarely do some people realize, oh, I can draw sceneries. And that's kind of cool or whatnot. You know, some people do branch into that and realize that that's a place to grow and excel at. Nobody realizes that there's an entire industry that somebody needs to just draw food.
Yeah.
You need to draw food. You need to make stickers. You need to make keychains. Just draw food nonstop. And I'm pretty sure you would make an entire career off of that. Somebody get on that, please.
100%, dude.
Because I've told so many people, and they're like, no, people want to see anime people. I'm like, yes. But you want to know how many people there are drawing anime characters, and you're new, and you can get in somewhere else.
Dude,
just saying.
Anime food, I mean, as I said, it's like one of my favorite things in anime, just like watching people eat. Like, I think it all stems literally from Naruto, from like him getting a bowl of ramen and being like, that looks absolutely amazing. That's not fair. Why is he getting to eat this and I don't? And even if I order ramen right now from wherever's near me, it'll never be as good as what it looks like in Naruto. But yeah, Food Wars they did well. It was more of the same, as I said. I don't know where you necessarily go with food, but yeah, I agree. You guys draw more food. Draw more food. Like,
yeah, somebody draw food. Do it.
Let's do some fan art food. All right. Yeah, dude. Our thing's otaku flavored. We're basically food.
Yeah, I should probably get into actually drawing food. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah, you got to do like an actual like top ramen, like a whole full like thing with otaku flavor on it.
That's in the works of me actually getting off my ass to do stuff. Coming soon. I'll force him to do something. I love how I can't draw or stuff, so I'm like, Jay, do it. Hey, draw it. Yeah, I got you.
After that came The Misfit of Demon King Academy, which I actually remember this coming out, but I didn't end up watching this one. This was kind of...
All right, well, it's the One Punch Man 2.0. Let's take it to its final conclusion.
Wait,
this
really?
Is power fantasies to be all power fantasies. It is... This dude straight up kills somebody with his heartbeat.
Wait, really?
And then resurrects him to kill him again with his heartbeat.
Holy shit. All right, maybe I'm skipping out on something I shouldn't have skipped out on, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
The homie picks up a freaking castle and throws it at somebody.
Power fantasies are a weird one for me because I do, like, I'm the shonen kid. I do like fighting. I love that. I'm not 100% all about my character being the very greatest, most powerful character there is. I like watching the struggle. Does he ever struggle, or is it just like I'm One Punch Man where it's like
too powerful for that?
Okay, yeah, okay.
He's when he gets born, he's a reincarnation of the original Demon King. Oh
God!
And he gets reborn, and he grows up into like a full-grown adult within the course of like a month. And his parents are amazing. They love their kid. and they praise him constantly,
Oh
and
my-
he's just a full-grown adult, and they still treat him like he's just like their son, and
All
it's
right.
amazing.
All right, maybe I will watch this. What the fuck?
Just watch it.
This
It
sounds-
is such a trip.
This sounds pretty good, actually. Because like that's something I like about One Punch Man is it is a power fantasy, but it's funny. Like the humor
Yeah.
in that is very, like I mean, yeah, very Mob Psycho-esque, which also I loved. But I'll check out Misfit. I'll add it to the list.
Yeah, it's not what you think it is. It's
no,
great.
it's not. It's definitely not. I don't know. It's weird because sometimes I read titles and I see the thumbnail. I'm like, nah, not today.
Oh yeah, no, it looked like garbage. It turned out to be
Speaking
great.
of looked like garbage, The God of High School was not an animation style that I was necessarily getting behind, but a bunch of people have started re-recommending this to me, and I think I have to watch it. I do think I have to watch it.
I gave it a watch. It sucked so bad.
I heard it gets better like the
The
longer
fight
it
scenes
goes
look
on,
cool.
but I mean,
Like it has cool fight scenes. That's it.
yeah, which you would think would draw me in instantly, but there was something about the animation style that just pushed me away from it. I don't know what studio made The God of High School, but I'm sorry and I apologize. I will give it a
no
go. Okay, we'll figure it out. After that
looks bad.
was ReZero, which was season 2 part 1, which is something I've realized ReZero does a lot of the time, like after now getting into ReZero, is like, welcome to season 1 part 1, and I'm like, isn't this season 1? Couldn't you do season 1 and then season 2 instead of
Yeah.
season 1 part 1 season 1 part 2? Why are we doing this to me? Okay, like,
So
is there a reason,
ReZero,
Jay? Is there a reason?
well, I don't know either, but ReZero is it's such a mixed bag because it's a split camp. There's people who love season 1, there's people who don't like season 1. It's a huge mixed bag, but no matter your take on it, love or hate it, season 2, and I hate to be that, it's like season 2 is just way freaking good. It's everything you wanted the first season to have that it's missing.
Okay.
And if you already loved it, then it's 10 times better than it was before. So it's
Maybe if you hated it, give it another go, basically.
if you made it to the ending of season 1, you're kicking yourself if you're not watching the second season, because it lines everything into place and really gives it a good go. If you didn't make it to the end, I'm not going to tell you to stick around to get to it, because honestly, there is a lot of the reasons why you didn't want to get to the end in the first one. Like all the people that I've had the complaints with, I've had a lot of talks about this anime with a lot of people, and if you don't like it, it does take all the way until second season to stop doing those things you don't like.
Okay.
And that's a huge turnoff. I totally get it. I'm not going to say you need to watch this anime, but if you've gotten to that point, you owe it to yourself to actually get into season 2, because season 2 is amazing. There's almost a part of me that like wishes people could watch season 2 without season 1 being in there, but there's so many intertwining parts that lead into season 2 that you need those threads, because it's such a widespread tapestry. Everybody's like, there's no plot in season 1, and it's like, no, there's just so much world building setting up for all the plot. And this thing is so masterly webbed together that I've talked to people who love this show, and they're like, oh no, all these surface elements. I'm like, no, there's so much more.
Yeah,
And
I started that show recently, and it does seem like already I'm falling in love with the world that they're doing. Like isekais and things like that, of course, are isekais and things like that. So you got your tropes there. You got like the same thing that's kind of going on. I do like this one in the fact that the antagonist, or no, the protagonist kind of seems interesting. I think that's one of the issues with isekais is that
everybody says he's not interesting. This is a weird problem.
I don't know. Like he seems more interesting than the other ones I've been watching. But I think that's one of the weird things about isekais that they trouble with is your character comes in either all knowing or just like basically is so good at everything that he does, and he seems kind of like he knows what's going on clearly. Like I'm only a couple episodes in, but clearly he knows what's going on, but it's just not going the way he thought it was going to go, which I think is interesting. I like that take.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'll have to check that out.
It is worth a watch. Please, just people give it a try, but if you don't like it, you don't like it, and that's cool.
Yeah, I think that's something that's interesting about your take on stuff is you're not a very big forcing of if you didn't like the first season, don't like force yourself to get like to this point. Like, you're not the type of person that recommends an anime. It's like, oh, you should watch this anime because in season 2 episode 25 it finally picks up and gets good. Like, I feel like you're the type of person that you're like, if you didn't like it when you started watching it, like, you don't need to watch it before it starts getting good.
I think I try to do it very reservedly, so that way when I do pressure somebody to watch something in a season 2 or something like that, like, I want it to be a really good reason.
Yeah.
Now, is there an anime that I can point to and say that that's that reason? Not necessarily off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's going to be a time and place where I want my opinion to be something that people trust, and I don't want to force things on people necessarily.
Yeah, for me, I have like a similar one. I think it's because a lot of the shows I watch are shonens that are like long running shonens. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if you didn't like it for the first couple of episodes, you're most likely not going to like it at episode 100 or whatever it is. Maybe you might, but I don't want to be the kid that's like, oh, you got to watch this. You got to get up to like, especially for like One Piece or even Bleach or something, where it's like, you got to get up to episode 75 or episode 182 before it starts getting good. And you're like, Jesus Christ, that seems like a lot of my time that I've invested in this show. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely can see where you're coming from, but watch One Piece, you guys. All right. It's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, there's also things out there though, like Mob Psycho, where I'm like, season 2 is the best thing ever. And it's not like season 1 isn't amazing.
True.
Season 2 gets better.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I don't think you're not like the type of person. If season 2 was like the good season and season 1 sucked, I feel like you'd be more cautious to be like, yo, watch Mob Psycho if you want to, but just know that if you make it to season 2, it gets way better. Instead of some people who are like, you gotta watch this show. All right.
Yeah.
I feel like the only show like recently we'll get there when it's on the list, so we'll get there when we get there.
Do you feel like you ever pick up a show in season because somebody tells you that season 2 is good? Because I honestly, there's so many shows that I will drop early on if I don't think it's going to go the way that I want it to.
I'm weird because a lot of the times when people are like, oh, it gets good by this like episode or this season, I've liked the show from the beginning. Like, the one that really comes to mind for me is Steins Gate, where everyone who was recommending it to me was like, it picks up, it gets better, you gotta watch it. Like, once you hit episode 11 or whatever, it starts getting so good. And I like, no,
episode 1 are so good.
I was in episode 1 and I was like, dude, this is my show. This is my show. Why haven't I watched this? I love this dude. Like,
it makes me think, well, if they liked it so much later on, I must be like a turbo fan for this or something.
No, exactly.
So good early on.
That's the weird thing. It was also kind of similar for One Piece for me personally, because that was one where they're like, oh, it gets good at this certain arc, basically. They're like, you got to make it to Water 7. You got to get there. And I'm like, all right, I don't know what this means. I have no idea. It's pretty deep in there. I think it's like 100 and something episodes in. Maybe it's even 200 episodes in. Doesn't matter. But they're like, you got to get there before it gets good. And I was like, man, I don't know. That's so much to invest. But after episode 1, I was like, I fell in love with Luffy extremely quickly as far as a protagonist goes. And I was like, I vibe with this kid. I want to watch your adventure. I'm going to start watching it. I also feel like coming from Naruto, it is much easier. I feel like if Naruto's your first shonen, and you're like watching Naruto, and then all of a sudden you're watching a shonen that doesn't have a lot of filler in it, and you're like, wait, this just continued? We're not flashing back for the 40th time to this thing that we've seen 4 times already. But yeah. To get back to the list, after this is No Guns Life season 2, which I didn't see either of. I haven't seen any of this.
Oh wow, there's season 2 that aired in 2020, so that means earlier on the first season came out. Wow, dang.
What is this about?
Dude.
It's about no guns.
It's the dude has a gun for a face.
Wait, what? Oh, it's this one.
Yes.
Oh, I've seen parts of this. Just because I was like, what the fuck am I watching? What are people showing me right now? I love how in anime culture that just happens. What he said just happens. That's the anime about the guy who has a gun for a face. What other anything do you ever watch where someone is like, yes, that is the guy that has a gun for a face? Right. You're watching Star Trek. You're watching like a Star Wars or whatever it might be that you're into. No one is ever like, that's the show about the guy with a gun for a face. And
no one ever anime.
And you mean a gun. Like
yep, it's just a straight up bloody ass gun that he has
straight
for
up
a
gun.
face. It's so great. Thank you, anime.
Oh my god. Just, have you seen you've seen it?
Yeah, it's good. It's interesting.
Do they ever explain it? Is he the only one with a gun for a face?
No, so
please enlighten me. Enlighten me after you survive. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, my throat's almost gone for a couple days now. But basically, what it is, it's cybernetics enhancements that he's got placed in and whatnot for reasons.
Okay.
The story does a great job at explaining it. There's other people throughout the world who have these modifications done to them.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, it's actually completely normal within this world that somebody would have such a, enhanced modification to his freaking face.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I might have to check that. It just seems like so meme worthy.
I mean, come on, Cyberpunk was missing out by not adding guns to the face.
Yeah, face guns. That is what it needed. I agree, actually.
Up.
After that was Rent a Girlfriend, which a lot of people hyped this up when it first came out, and I didn't necessarily hop on the bandwagon until more recently, but I binged this show. I haven't sat down and watched every episode of an anime like this in a while. We did have a friend over who was visiting from out of town, and we kind of all started watching it, so it became this oh, well, you're leaving in a couple days, let's binge this show. But man, was it worth it. I don't usually like romance, or I guess this is, it's not slice of life. This is more romance, but
yeah, it's a romancy one.
Yeah,
I haven't finished it yet, which is really sad because I really did like the show. I just got caught up in so many things when it aired. I never finished it, but I'm glad to hear that you liked it all the way through because it gives me reason to go back and finish.
It is one of those shows where man, do I hate the main character, but at the same time, I don't know if I hate the main character. It's really weird. It's God, I hate you. You're an idiot. Pick best girl. It is one of the ones where it's please just pick best girl. You're clearly not going to, but what is wrong with you? There's so many wrong things with this kid, but I don't know. It's kind of relatable, I guess, in some ways, where it's you're hyper focused on the one girl that you don't know if you can get necessarily, and you're you have all these other options that are actually kind of coming at you, but you're no, this is the one I want. I don't. It's good though. I definitely they did a good job.
It feels like something I want to finish, and also I'm not a person that believes that you have to like the characters to like the show.
Yeah, me either.
If anybody ever wants to see a show that you will never like any of the characters, go watch Happy Sugar Life. You will hate the main character and any of the main supporting cast of characters to the deepest parts of your bones, most likely. But it's such a good show.
Yeah, I think that they did really well in this show, where it's you don't. There are moments where you're I hate you. I absolutely hate the choices you're making right now. But that kind of feels human in a way because he has his own what's going on in his head and how he wants to act to it. And you're sitting there screaming at the screen why are you doing this? Stop. Just stop. But it's good. It's definitely good. I liked it.
I think some people conflate despicable characters or bad characters as a bad show or bad writing when it's not, when that's literally the antithesis of that means it's actually good. They did what they were probably going for.
Yeah, exactly. I think when a character has more depth to them and you're starting to actually have these strange feelings for they're not doing what I thought they should do, and you're kind of getting conflicted. You're why aren't you doing what I would do, basically? And you start realizing, oh wait, that's because it's not me. I can't project myself into this character anymore. And I think that takes some people out, but I think that's what makes this character more believable and more something that's interesting to watch. But
yeah, okay.
Do yourself a service. I think Rent a Girlfriend was one of the series that a lot of people last year clung on to out of kind of nowhere, and it blew up to the point where some people, I've heard them saying this was their favorite anime from 2020 that came out.
Right on.
I don't know if I would agree that it was the best one that came out this season, because there was a lot of good stuff that came out, but it was very, very good, and it did come out of nowhere. Recommend. I give it a recommend. And the next one I also recommend, which was Jujutsu Kaisen. This was a good show. This was if you like shonens, you like beat 'em ups, It's good.
This is honestly one of the best shonens I've seen in a long time, and honestly, it kicks the crap out of shonens for me. Like, this is just like, haha, look, I can be a shonen that is amazing in my opinion.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
The concept is, I don't know if it's been done or whatever, but it's good. I do like where they're going with it. I've been keeping up with it personally. It is still like they're continuing the series. It just started airing again.
Season 2.
Yeah, like later this month.
We're still into it. It might turn out really bad in the end, but I mean, who knows how long this one's gonna go. This almost feels like this is gonna hit its mark as like one of the top big shonens.
I kind of feel I could see that. I do think it's one of those that reminds me kind of Demon Slayer-esque, where the animation style I personally like a lot, and as far as like combat goes and fighting goes, it's very good. I think Demon Slayer will forever be a little bit above this in a lot of people because it has swords. And
yeah, the aesthetic for Demon Slayer just fits more people. I think,
more people,
which is
I think,
a shame
as well.
because I like this so much better, but that's just me.
Yeah.
We're fine, whatever.
But yeah, go check it out. If you like watching people beat up each other and there are demons and spirits involved, go check it out. It's good.
You want to know what else came out at the same dang time that I don't understand why is keep going, but apparently there's still stuff for it? Love Live.
Love Live!
So, I'm not gonna lie, I was into Love Live for a while. I mean, of course, whatever. It's an idol.
Yeah.
The idols are basically a slice of life with an extra layer of flavor on top.
Sure.
And, you know, people going for a certain goal. And I watched everything Love Live up until Love Live Sunshine, which doesn't mean a damn thing to you, but does for whoever watches Love Live out there. So, hey.
They're like, damn, dude, he made it to Sunshine. What a beast.
I've got 3 different Love Live characters in Needroid form back there.
Damn.
It's so long ago, I almost can't remember their names anymore because I don't watch the show anymore. I give a damn. Because there's just so bloody much of it, and a lot of it sucks.
We added it to the list just because you were so blown away that it was still going, I feel. You're like, wait a second, Love Live's in here? Why did Love Live be in here?
And not even just more Love Live, it's a new season. The girls have all graduated. Who's still there?
They're probably new girls. Totally possible.
It must be. I don't... It's the only way that I can explain it in my head, because it's like, I remember, like, the first season is you watch, like, the seniors graduating, and it's like the new girls taking over. Is it... What story are we on at this point?
I guess you're going to have to go find out. You're going to have to do yourself...
Line is basically trying to be a shonen at this point.
Oh my god, dude. Shit, I gotta watch it. Fuck. God damn it. No, I'm just kidding.
But it's so long. And unlike shonen, it gets rid of its characters after a while. Instead of them dying, they just go to college, but sure.
That's so funny. That's how they kill off characters. They're like, all right, well, they're dead. We'll never see them again.
I mean, more bold than what you see in actual shonen, right? There's no characters in shonens that really ever die. Instead, this is like main characters are just gone after a while because they graduate out of high
especially
school.
Main characters. Yeah, very rarely do you lose a main character in a shonen. Like, that's dead. You
straight up lose my main... Like, one of my favorite characters in Love Live is just not there at the end of the season. You're just like, okay, bye, miss you.
Oh, dude, I miss you. That's so real.
But
man.
It's still going.
All right, well...
I'm
not gonna watch it, so I'm just gonna say that out now. All right, you guys, we're not. All right.
Not either.
Maybe we still have to do that one where I watched like a terrible anime. I don't think Love Live's probably that.
Love Live's good originally. I just don't know how it's still airing. That's the only problem. Maybe there's something that I missed, but yeah, we need to find the worst anime in the world for you to watch.
Yeah, so if anyone
wants you to watch the one where it's about making babies.
Yeah, I can't remember what that one's called. It was like, wasn't it like an isekai too or something like that? I can't remember. Or it's like a high school drama. I can't remember actually.
Yeah,
I added that to my list.
Some weird stuff out there.
We'll find something though. We still have to find something. I will do a review of the worst anime you guys can find. So, after that was what Kakeru.
Kiru? Yeah. So,
Kakeru.
This is the sports
climbing girl.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Story time. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So, summary for all of you guys: why this show sucks. All right. I love climbing. I thought this was gonna be great. I was like, I don't really get into sports anime too often, but I can watch this one, right? We will give it a shot. So you get main character. She's kind of cool. She meets other main character who's kind of like a snobby, uptight, but she's really good at climbing. So they spend the whole day climbing. that's basically most of the plot up until the point where her friends come by and they see the new girl and they're like, oh, you're new and you like climbing, you should join the climbing club. And other main girl that she met that was teaching her to climb for the day realizes, oh, you love climbing for fun, I love climbing for a sport. These two ideals are not compatible. So therefore we must have a climb off. Whoever wins gets to stay in the club and the other person has to go in exile forever. And it's just like, the hell happened? Like, this just went from 0 to 100 for no reason. And then they have the competition, which they tie. And so they're like, oh, I guess we both have to be on the team.
This sounds so bad. So this is a weird show for me because this is one of the few shows that Crunchyroll recommended to me, and I added it to my watch list. I put up the first episode, scrolled to the comments. I don't normally do this, and I can't even remember what the first comment was, but I literally didn't watch the episode because of whatever it said. It was basically like, whatever you're doing, don't watch this, basically. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to go watch something else, I guess. Like,
I wish somebody would have warned me because
I know I got warned. I got fucking warned.
Yeah, somebody showed me and I was like, this looks cool. And it was just somebody, you got me. You freaking got me, all right? I get it. You trolled me. I watched it. I was baited. Good on you,
poor man. Jerk. Moving on. But yeah, next one was Talentless Nana, which was good. This is interesting. When I first saw this, I was like, this is 100% a My Hero Academia ripoff. It has the Bakugo character. It's got your like Deku kind of character who's not good at anything. And then basically it's about this new girl who shows up, and
right.
The anime is interesting because it starts off. This might have spoilers. I literally, it's the first episode. If you guys want to watch this without any spoilers, just skip a little bit. I don't know. But basically what happens is it follows this dude, and then at the end of the episode, it's not following the dude anymore. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. But it has one of the sweetest twists I've seen in an episode 1 of an anime. I think it's kind of generic in a way as far as it's presented, because as I said, you get My Hero Academia vibes almost instantaneously because they feel like quirks. They feel like, okay, this is a high school of a bunch of people who have powers basically, and how they go about that and turn it into something that its own is good. It's interesting. I'd recommend it.
I've got a few spoilers from this one, and I don't want other people to get spoiled on it.
Neither do I. That's kind of why.
And I'm gonna go back and watch it. I haven't seen it yet, but it sounds really freaking great.
That's why I wanted to do the least spoiler edition. So let's move on. Let's just jump up to Kuma 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 Bear, which was recommended to me, which is basically a slice of life about girls in bear outfits. I haven't watched this one yet, but it was literally recommended to me today, so I wanted to put it on the list. If you guys have seen it and you guys recommend it, let me know. But it looked adorable. It just looks adorable. It reminds me of something that you would most likely watch, where it's just adorable anime girls that I guess it's a slice of life that follows them. I know there's a bunch of bears involved.
I'm going to do something I try to not do while we're doing these things, but I'm actively going to go look at this really quick just to see what the title looks like, because that's adorable of a photo to look at.
Dude.
Definitely show a photo of this during this thing. What the heck is going on here?
Yeah, sure. I'll bring up a photo of Kuma Bear. It looks adorable.
Looks like possible garbage. I'm going to say this.
Not going to lie. I totally agree. I don't know. As I said, it was recommended to me for brand alone in some ways. There's
Savage Bear wants to watch a thing about bears.
I know,
that's
right?
So weird.
He has very big bear energy right now. We should show him the bear. But yeah,
how quirky. No.
I still like how this just translates to bear. But yeah, still good. After that,
they got adorable figurines for it too.
Wait, really? Fuck, okay, my bad. I'm like figures. This is definitely on my list to check out, at least the first couple episodes. So we'll tune back in with how Kuma 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 Bear turns out, but maybe we'll make that our watch.
Stay tuned.
Maybe we'll make that our watch thing. Oh my god, he just sent it over real time. Yeah, dude, she has bears on her hands. Like, and I'm pretty sure those bears become like full-fledged bears that you could like ride. I don't know. There seems like there's more to it than.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
I have no idea.
Sure, for the rest of whatever's going on in this, guys. I don't know.
I was sent some
if
gifts.
It's garbage. I'm sorry. If it's not, have fun.
Yeah. No, agreed. 100%. This is I don't know if I should recommend. But after that,
we recommend this as anime.
This is yeah. If you look at pictures of this and you're like, you know what, I'll check it out. There you go. You did yourself a service. But Noblesse is the one that came out after. I guess actually the same day. They came out the same day. I did start watching Noblesse. This is another webtoon that they turned into an anime, and it's so far I've been enjoying it. I'm not very far into it, so I can't really talk about how the overarching plot goes. But as far as the first few episodes, it's basically what you would want it to be. It's about vampires. It's basically about
the vampire thing.
Yeah,
like, I have no idea what it was about. So
there's like superhumans involved too. It's kind of like, to summarize, basically, like, I'm pretty sure they're vampires. They haven't 100% said that yet. But dude dresses like a vampire, acts like a vampire, has been asleep for years, and he's like enrolled in a high school that is owned by or like run by his servant, basically. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Yeah, like his right hand man runs the school, and I think he's a human. Like, it looks like he's from like a line of humans that are kind of like, I guess, like the butlers to, or I don't know, like your handyman to whoever the vampire clan is. And yeah, it's kind of funny watching him be in the school, and like the first couple of episodes, I think he just like started here or something, because he doesn't know like anything about the culture that's going on because he's been asleep for so long, and technology's changed and all of this stuff's changed in the meantime. So he comes off as very like, you're like standard, I know absolutely nothing emo kid basically, but his friends are kind of hyping him up and trying to get him more into doing stuff. But it's a good show. The first couple fight scenes that were there were good. I don't know what I would classify this as necessarily, other than just go check it out if you like vampires. I don't think, as I said, I don't know if they're going to turn out to really be vampires, but it seems like it's vampires. They're your standard dress real nice, look baller.
I mean, given the name, like, that kind of makes sense. Like, it makes sense to, given the plot that you're giving. Like, sure.
Yeah, and around all of this out, Attack on Titan, the final season started.
We don't need to talk about that.
You son of a bitch! This is the one where I was gonna talk about. No. This is the one show that I'm trying to get a ton of people, like at least in my friend circle, to like get caught up on, so I can talk about it.
Everybody already watches Attack on Titan. This is like baby's first anime at this point.
No one I know.
No, literally everybody's seen this anime. What are you talking about?
No, everyone's seen it, but no one's caught up on the final season. I don't know one person in my personal anime friend group who's like, yeah, dude, I watch Attack on Titan right now and I'm caught up, so let's talk about the final season. Because shit's going down, okay? Like, what the fuck, you guys? I'm alone. Someone come help me and talk about Attack on Titan with me. Like, send me a message, okay? I need help. Fuck. But yeah, it's good. After all of that, this season,
look, guys, you've seen the first couple of episodes. If
you son of a bitch, don't you do this to me? Don't you do
this
to me? I need them to know it's good. Okay, I am the editor right now.
It's good in season 4.
I'm editing. All right. If we're gonna talk about Attack on Titan, though, yeah, season 2 is slow. All right, season 1 of Attack on Titan. Season 3's good. Near the end of it, I definitely think it picks up. Season 4 has just been not like any of the other seasons. That's, I think, the easiest way to put it. And I think season 4 so far has been an extremely slow burn of a season, as far as like what's going on. Like, it's hype. It's definitely super hype, but it's not like a ton of stuff has happened and we're pretty far in. So I do wonder how this is all going to pan out. I know all the manga kids who have read all of this right now are like, I guess you'll see. But yeah, this is definitely one of those animes right now where the final season, I mean, it's called the final season, so I'm assuming this is the last one.
most likely.
But how
Seems like
fucked
it
up would that be
Who
if
knows?
it's like the final season, season 5, and it's like, fuck you, Attack on Titan. You can't name your season 4 the final season and then have a 5th season. But
final season part 2.
dude, I swear to God, yeah, dude, can't do that either. Please, for the love of God. But yeah, it's been really interesting. It's been getting a lot of shit because I guess the animation quality, a lot of people are like, oh, this isn't good. But I've really been enjoying it. I like it. I recommend, please, for the love of God, Jay, you need to watch this so that we can talk about it.
So weird to think of how long this show started back in the day for. Like,
oh, right, yeah.
what was going on when this thing launched? Was like
I don't
the
even.
original Avatar still airing at this time? Like,
I actually don't remember.
how long ago was
all
this?
right, I
thing?
usually don't
It
do
feels
this
like an
either.
ancient-
But Attack.
Yeah.
Attack
Like,
on.
what's
Someone's
the-
like, dude, I already knew on Titan. When did this air? When did Attack on Titan air? It originally aired in 2009.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow. Yeah.
Wait. This anime is going for like 12 years? 12 years? No. Can I do math? Yeah, 12 years. Damn, dude.
Yeah.
I like how I'm over here like, fuck, don't fuck up math on the podcast. I'll edit it out. It's okay. If I'm wrong, you just won't see this. It'll just be like a number that pops up. I'll just like be mouthing.
Wow, it's been.
Yeah. Wow, it's been. Okay. But yeah, I can't believe actually this has been running that long. Now that I think about it.
I mean, it felt like it's been out for a billion years at this point. Like it.
It does. I do agree. I think that's one of the reasons why I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily keep up with it, because for like between season 1 and 2 was quite a while. And by the time I hopped into season 2, I was like, okay, like we're late to the party already. And I didn't even like season 2 to 3 was even longer, I believe. I might be wrong on that, but it felt like longer at least. And
But for
I
a
didn't
long
even watch
time,
season
though,
3 for the longest
Attack on
time.
Titan is kind of a lot of people always refer to it as what I guess what people would be is like the Game of Thrones of anime. Like it's definitely one of the most popular titles in anime.
I could see
It's
that.
out there. A lot of people have watched it that's never seen anime.
I think it's because it's so, I want to say it's different because it kind of is strange as far as an anime goes, like as far as like a plot goes. And it doesn't explain a lot, especially in season 1. Like season 1, they hint at the whole what's in the basement of his house basically, and then they move so far away from that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're like, are they ever going to find out? Clearly, I mean, they must. But it's definitely one of those things where, like, I think that whole intrigue and that whole, like, what's going on in this world? Because when I first saw it, I was like, this is an isekai. Like, there's, like, these are titans. Someone got sent back to this world with titans in it. And then I watched the first episode of it, and I was like, okay, wait, this isn't an isekai. What the fuck is this? Like,
I mean, it came out before isekais were really like branded as
we're
like
really
the new
branded.
hot
Yeah,
genre.
I agree. But
Um,
I don't know. It was weird. I went into Attack on Titan not knowing what to expect and got something completely strange. And it's brutal.
Okay.
I think Attack on Titan was one of the animes where I remember being like, holy shit, like, they're eating people. Like, that person got ripped in half. This is the first episode. Like, normally you don't full send on something this quick. Like, there's like a little bit of a lead up before you do something like this, but I don't know.
no.
Plus, how they get around their transport, like the ODM gear. I think it's ODM. I can't remember, but
Yeah, it's
I should
whatever.
remember.
It's a decent enough show. I get it.
yeah, I think it's got a
whether or
lot of
not
things.
I'll catch up to it.
You son
We'll
of
see.
you son of a bitch. But that brings us to the end of our list, and yeah, that was
everything you missed in 2020, go back and watch it. All of you a-holes who keep saying nothing happened in 2020 in the anime world. Surely there definitely was, more so than many years I can remember in the past.
yeah. So I mean, we don't
Yeah.
recommend everything on this list, but as
No.
clearly there's enough of this that we did recommend that if you missed any of it, go check it out. Do yourself a favor, and I mean, easily.
That's part of this.
We got
This is how the
everything.
stuff we missed.
A lot of it we did miss. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. It's interesting
This is not
because
a comprehensive list at all.
it's interesting. Yeah, dude, that's true. This is just what we knew to pick out of the list. which clearly, if you guys know any other hidden gems that came out in 2020 that you guys would recommend that we skipped over for one reason or another, just let us know. I mean, we're always looking for new stuff to watch. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised that people said 2020 was a slow year for anime. I think it was...
I think it's just simply because some of these things feel like they came out 3 years ago. Like, no lie. Like, I think everybody's time warp sense of 2020 is just so bullshit at this point. What did we do for the past year? I don't really remember. I wasted a bunch of time. I know a lot of other people did. Some people were active.
I think that's part of it too, though.
It is what it is.
Is that while all this was going on, you're like, oh, I have all of this free time to go watch all the anime I possibly can. But you're so stressed about all these other things going on in your life and in the world that you're not just going to sit down and watch anime.
Yeah. And a lot of us had a lot to deal with the last year. That's for sure.
And I think that's what like a big portion of it was like, I can't dedicate my time right now to watching anime. And so by the time 2020 was coming to an end, it's like, oh, well, nothing came out. And clearly stuff came out, but yeah. Whether it was delayed or whether it actually turned out to be good is a question to behold, but definitely any of the ones that we said in this list here, feel free to go check them out, except for no, actually I don't. What was it?
Do what you will.
Except for listeners,
rewatch the episode again. Give us an extra view. Go see what you like or don't like in our stuff if you've already forgotten, because we kind of did.
I know. I was looking over that. I'm like, what did we not like? Listeners,
there's a lot of recommendations that you gave me that I'm definitely going to look up, and hopefully there's a lot of stuff in here that I was able to get you.
The Misfit of Demon High School or Demon King Academy. I'm like gonna go watch the first episode after this just because I got to see a castle be thrown. But
hell yeah. Also check out Inspectors at some point.
Yeah, 100%.
Like there's all those little things.
That was a good one. But
we'll put this list in the description. You better do that.
Yeah, I'll put the list in the description, as well as I'll post this in my Discord and all of that other stuff. So you guys feel free to go check them out, and hopefully watch parties. All right, keep us to it. We'll figure out somehow. Sometimes people do polls and stuff. I think what we should do is you and me just come up with what we want to watch first and start working through it. But we'll figure it out. Hopefully you guys will join us for those. And
definitely do. Yeah, I definitely want to get it to where we start doing an anime watch list of stuff, because I already do watch parties in my Discord for people who have been over there and watched different movies. We've watched musicals to everything else. We're watching Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas next Sunday, I think, something like that. Either way, there's stuff like that always happening over in my Discord. But I want to do this anime stuff really, really bad, because
me too.
I love anime. Obviously, this is what we're doing here. So let's get watch parties for those going now.
Yeah.
So that way, yeah, we can talk more.
Well, cool, you guys. Thank you all for joining us. If you've made it this far, I fucking love you. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.
Hold up.
Oh wait,
you're acting like we're done. Like there wasn't something super important for us to keep going on, because there was a second episode of an epic TV show that I don't think we've crammed down everybody's throat enough yet.
Oh shit, are you talking about the one portion of this show that we've dedicated to an anime called what, Wondrous Egg Priority? Dear God, dude, I agree. Welcome to the section of Wondrous Egg Priority, episode 2. It was good.
Where we basically developed the entire episode of last thing.
Dude,
episode.
Not gonna lie, I kind of felt bad, because I was like, I don't know what else I needed to get out. Like, I didn't know the best way to talk about this show other than being like, you guys, what the fuck is going on? This happened, and then this happened, and then this happened.
Yeah, it felt like you were just trying to process, and it was like you needed to say it to get it out there. But episode 2, it's such a wild ride, because it does exactly what I hoped it didn't do, but it did it correctly in a way that, like, it's like, okay, we need to explain these things, go over a few iterational things, so that way we can chuck a whole new angle from you. And it's like, it speed ran what I thought was going to take like 4 or 5 episodes. It does it all in one episode to give us even more to go off of. And I feel like the show is just even more in depth now and moving at a breakneck speed that I don't know what at this point could possibly occur in episode 12, but I feel like it's just gonna keep pushing.
I think it was interesting for me because this episode for me took the anime in a different direction than what I was expecting. I was kind of expecting the slow burn, like they'll slowly but surely piece stuff at us. We'll slowly see this character grow into something like that she once maybe wasn't, But yeah, episode 2 kind of just fully throws you in and fully sends this idea of like what this anime is going to become. And I did not expect them I expected kind of what you were saying, which is by like by like episode 3, 4, even maybe 5, that they would finally get to this point. Clues. Yeah.
No, they hand it to you. They're like, okay, guys, this is all these questions that you had in episode 1. Here's the majority of them, not all of them, but here's a bulk of them. So that way we can introduce this new character that is now going to be a possible friend with our main character and fight these eggs together. It's like, she's sitting there on the girl's possible deathbed. Like, you failed because you were greedy. And I was just like, she's not like holding back.
Yeah. No, exactly.
It's like, we need to team up, and like, well, what's this whole thing about friendship? And it's just like, it just goes, it full sends. The only thing that I didn't like about the episode, and I understand why they did it, because they needed to just springboard so heavily, was the fact that she seemingly understands that she can use the pen power to make the weapon.
I kind of agree with that. That is where I think the show for me became like, this is what the show's going to be about. And I was like, okay, I kind of more expected you to like learn about that, because in the first episode, clearly she has the power, but it wasn't anything like she
this
was
is spoilers horrific, guys, by the way. This is actual spoilers, even if it doesn't sound like it. Please.
Oh yeah, okay, I guess you're right.
Be wary. Like,
spoiler
we want you to watch
warning,
the show
3 minutes earlier.
But at this point,
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'll put it there. I'm getting better at this. So. But I definitely, it is one of those things where it felt like almost forced. It almost felt like it was too soon for her to actually really be able to do that. But at the same time, I kind of see where you're coming from, and what you're saying is that it was needed to push it into that direction. And I do agree.
Right. Also, because at the same time, we now learn that the people with their faces blinded out, this is heavy spoilers at this point. People with blinded out face are people from the person's traumatized past that they're trying to cope with. And the pin weapon only worked in that one situation. They need to use relics from the other person's existence to fight the enemies, which is why she uses the baton ribbon later on to actually kill off the lady. Like,
which for me kind of was like, that was like, wait, is this going to become a thing? Because it wasn't necessarily in the first episode. She didn't really necessarily take a relic from her and use it.
She didn't,
but in this one, that was like very heavy, and it made me wonder if that's going to now be a common occurrence. Is summon person, use whatever their thing plus whatever my power is to defeat your like thing that's like you're traumatized from. One thing that I'm wondering, do you think that like that person that they're showing, because clearly these people were pretty positive are dead.
Yes.
So do you think they're showing that coach because the coach is what pushed her to either kill herself or to
how she died? Yes.
How she died?
I think they're the cause, the main source of trauma for that person.
I think so as well.
And
okay.
I think that's what every time we see one of the people with dies. So there's some lazy writing in this. Like, I'm not going to say that the show is perfect. Like, I thought it was going to go a much different way. It definitely hit some hiccups in the second episode that are, I think, 100% forgivable, and the show's still on track to be amazing, regardless of this. But they obviously chose characters to be introduced to her in a way that pushes the narrative of what they want to tell. Because the first episode is like the girl that she hatches from the egg knows what's going on and pushes her to get to the point where she ends up killing the thing, and drags her through it and makes us understand like she needs to have a motive, she needs to get moving forward, and it's going to give her this energy, so that way in the second episode she has all that energy she wants to go. So they instantly counter that with a girl that doesn't want to fight back, and it's like somewhat lazy writing, but hey, like, I get what they're trying to go for. It does help hit story beats really, really well, so it makes 100% sense. Like, I still really, really like it. But if people are going to pick it apart, they're going to use those as examples of what were weak about the episode. But I only find those as really great areas to springboard off of, because they really do feel like they want to fast track that learning process, that idea of like, this is how this works. So that way we all are on the same page of like, these are the mechanics, this is what the world's going on, this is how it all works. Let's explore the deeper meanings and concepts of these things as we go forward, which I think is how the second girl comes into play, and why that feels so organic towards the end of it.
For me, I kind of felt like the reason why they springboarded like so hardcore is this is going to be either shorter than what we're expecting it to be, because we don't know what the episode count of the series is right
That's
now.
true. I'm thinking it's
Like
a 12
where
episode.
everyone assumes it's a 12, yeah. And part of me was like, this I think could be like a 6 or an 8 episode anime, and that would explain why they need to right now push you so far forward so quickly.
That's a possibility.
But yeah, at the same time, I think the interesting thing about this girl is it's not like she didn't know what was going on. She like clearly she kind of didn't know what was going on because she had to like tell her to run, or she like basically had to help her with this. It didn't seem like she was used to seeing these things. Where yeah, the first girl like basically guided her the entire time, was like, don't worry, I'm just gonna run for like until the bell rings and I'll survive or whatever. Which led me, I was like, wait, so these people go through this multiple times? Like, clearly.
What happened is the first egg might have been from somebody who failed to save them, and therefore they've repeated their incident a few times. As opposed to the second girl, I think might have been a first attempt.
Oh, that's interesting. Because if you think of it like that, do you think that means the girl that she's trying to save could potentially be in one of the eggs, which is why they're saying, hey, you want to go through these as quickly as you can?
Look.
Oh my god, this is making way more sense.
There's a chance that the girl who she's trying to save, there's a good chance that the girl she's trying to save died trying to save one of these eggs.
That's true.
It might have not have been a suicide. It might have just been an incident of this happening. Like, this might be a typical like cycle that occurs sometimes. Who knows how deep this goes? There's a lot of possibilities, a lot of things we could speculate. I don't want to speculate too many on those things.
Yeah, me either, personally.
Because those are way too far off in the possibilities. But that's the nice thing about this series, is it gives you all these avenues where you could plot a dozen different scenarios, and who knows if any of them are even remotely correct.
Yeah. I'm just glad that the girl came around, because at the beginning of that episode, she was really off-putting as far as, like, joining the main character. And I mean, I kind of understand it in a way. I like how like she literally was like, here's my phone number, never see me again, basically. Like, I just want to see, I'm going to come on like odd days, you're going to come on even days, we'll figure it out. Like, I don't ever want to see you again. And then sees her in the same hospital, so clearly they live near each other in the real world, close enough that like they're going to, I don't know, be able to frequently run into each other. And she's in the hospital, so clearly something went down. We already know that if you get injured in like the, I don't know, egg world, I guess is the best way to put it.
The dream space, yeah.
If you get injured in the dream space, you don't instantly incur those wounds until you come out of the dream space, which is, I think, an interesting concept. Because once again, she gets injured in this one and ends up at the hospital, which is why she sees her. She's not injured that bad. But
can we also say the whole thing about self-injury and whatnot? We now get the idea of like the love interest of her mom is like, do you hate me that much?
Yes.
And like, there's all that interplay of like, is she she obviously looks like she's self-harming, and just there's so much going on.
We got the thing too that clearly she's divorced and is like trying to get with a new person, and that dude is like literally like, oh, you hate me enough to do this, basically. Like, and it's like
they confront these things.
Holy shit! Like, dear God, like.
They're also using the point of like the voices from the egg world, like the mannequin things that were talking to her. They straight up try to like, and also the other characters in this, they already from episode 2 are starting to be like, are you doing this for greedy things? Are you doing this because you're trying to save your friend, or is this like a personal thing of you? And it's like, they're fine with hitting every angle on this thing right off the bat. Like, they're not holding back on any of the possibilities of where this thing could go.
So yeah, definitely still recommend the show. Still definitely the hidden gem, the hidden gem of 2021. It's 2021 to me has been a good start. Like, there's been quite a good like chunk of anime. So I think we'll probably do an update of Wondrous Egg. Like, we'll have a section where we just gush about this anime.
Until we lose interest, until it becomes amazing.
I think it's going to be interesting because this is going to, no matter what, it's going to turn into something that I finish because I got to see how this ends. But
same here. I'm pretty sure it's a to the end, even if it gets bad. Like, no matter what, we're going down with the chip. And I'm really hoping it's a roller coaster of greatness the whole way through. And at the same time, like, the only time that I've gotten to talk to anybody about this is right now when we're recording, which is
me too.
The best part of this.
Which I think is the best way to handle this, because it's fun to like just basically come with you and be like, what did you think? Because like I did ask you over Discord at one point, and you're just like, it was good. And I'm like, good.
Yeah.
We can keep it there and keep like the actual, because this, okay, not to like go back to Attack. This is what I want, okay? This is what I want for Attack on Titan, you son of a bitch.
That one's fine.
I know.
No, but yeah, having speculation like this and seeing what we
good.
think is going to happen is really fun. I wish I was there with you in Attack on Titan. I honestly do.
Yeah.
But it's just, I'm not motivated to get all the way up to where you're at right now.
Plus now you're late to the party a little bit, and I understand that feeling, because I feel like if I'm late to especially something that's super hyped, I'm like, I'll get it later. Like I'll binge that once it's all out. We'll talk about it then or whatever. But
yeah, when I don't have any expectations for it going on. So
no,
I
exactly.
don't know. It's one of those things why I don't want you guys to miss this boat. Get on the ship with us, ride it to the freaking end. This one's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, talk about your speculations and stuff. Like that's a good place for the Discord. We should have a section for just spoilers, basically, where we can talk about it.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
There we go.
We're launching the Discord.
We're launching the Discord. I love this. Yes, dude, I got him. No, I'm just kidding.
Come over and talk to us about it right away, because
cool.
honestly, I love the fact that we're already vibing just between me and you, like stuff that I'm saying things you might not catch.
Yeah.
You're making me think about things that I'm not necessarily thinking about. There's a lot to dissect in this one.
It's good.
It is fun.
Yeah.
And we can also talk about other anime while we're in there.
Yeah.
We'll set up different little sections for current airing ones that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
So that way we can also avoid ones that we don't want spoilers for.
Yeah, I definitely think sectioning them out. I mean, we could even do the point where there's like one general one and then one spoilery one if we wanted to go that far as granularity. But I think just having like a spoilers section and then under there just have all the animes that we're currently airing, basically. But yeah, I think it'll be a good way to handle it.
We'll figure out a good way to handle it, and we'll
join
we'll
the Discord.
Yeah, come talk to us there.
Link in the description below. I've always wanted to say that. All right.
Link in the doobly-doo.
The link in the dibbaloo. Also, yeah, I'll put the list in the description, the animes we went over. So if you want to check out any of these,
they'll be on the Discord as well.
Yeah, they'll be everywhere. But yeah, cool.
Yep.
Well, you guys, I think this is for this episode, and yeah, I will figure out a tagline. I feel like stay otaku's
stay otaku.
Oh shit, he brought it back. Let's go. All right, it's in. I'll see you guys next time.
No,
I'll see you guys next time. Bye everybody. I'm ending it here. I don't even care.
Bye guys.